reason why I created SVG Solar, I was just a sales rep. I was always trying to find the best way to get inside the house and what's gonna make me different from the next door-to-door guy. So I wanted to create something for myself that was gonna make myself stand out from the rest. Yep. And when the whole financing model changed and we were able to really add on home improvements as far as home efficiency products, that's when I created my little 10-point energy assessment of a house.
All right, hello again. Here we are with the Storm Solar Synergy podcast. We're SVG Solar. Really exciting day. We have the co-owner and president of our solar team, Farhad Etemadi, and he is the man. He's the man that had the dream, the vision, and here we are making it happen. Pleasure to have him on. Pleasure to do the podcast. So
yeah, man. Thanks for having me, Jacob. I know you've been hosting all the podcasts for us. Just, to bring the knowledge to not only contractors, but door-to-door guys, sales reps.
Yep.
To really teach them what we do here at SVG Solar.
Yeah, absolutely. And SVG Solar is obviously a branch of Storm Venture Group with Anthony Del Medico and the operation that he's been able to bring to the top roofing contractors across the country. And, it's really cool watching the development of the world we live in as it relates to home improvements. Yeah. Solar is this, thing that people are trying to figure out, and it's extremely important. And it's also not something people understand and not something that people think that they need right away. Yeah. Even though they see the inflation, they see all these different trends. And that's really, what's been cool for us to be ahead of the curve with, on the cutting edge of what contractors are really looking for. It's an opportunity to add revenue streams.
Absolutely. That's really the reason why I created SVG Solar. Is myself, I was just a sales rep. Yep. And I was always trying to find the best way to get inside the house and what's going to make me different from the next door-to-door guy, because I'm out here in Arizona. We know the competition's heavy out here. People get door knocked 2-3 times a day, sometimes 10 times a week.
At times,
so when you're walking up to that door and you're just like every other sales rep that goes up and knocks on a solar or a roof, it gets old and repetitive for these homeowners. So they automatically shut you off as soon as they see you. They won't answer their doors. They're home, right? And so I wanted to create something for myself that was going to make myself stand out from the rest, And when the whole financing model changed and we were able to really add on home improvements as far as home efficiency products, that's when I created my little 10-point energy assessment of a house. And literally it was the dumbest thing. I just, I think it was on like Word. I just wrote a couple things down, printed it out with some information
at the bottom. Smiley face, happy face, sad
Smiley
face.
face, happy face. Yeah. And I just put the AC, the windows, doors, AC, trim, insulation, roof. I put all these things in there. There's literally 10 of them. And when I walked up to a door, it was really easy for me because they're like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm just giving 10-point energy assessments of the house. And they're like, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's free, takes about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna walk around your house and see like what areas of your house can be improved." And people took liking to it. It was the craziest thing. And so that got me in a lot of doors, and obviously it all tied in with solar because I'm showing them all these areas of their home that are inefficient, they're outdated, whatever the case may be. Then I ask them politely, let me see your electric bill real quick. Let me see what you guys are paying for energy right now. Because if these things get upgraded, your energy bill will drop dramatically, right? And so obviously that ties in with solar. And when I get their energy bill, I create the solar proposal, and then I'll do the add-ons on whatever's needed. And I obviously, got in contact with subcontractors and third parties that did AC work, insulation, windows. And whenever I came across one of those homeowners that needed that upgrade, I knew who to call so I can get that instant quote and tell the homeowners, look, it's going to be $7,000 for your 20-year-old AC unit. And guess what? I can tie this in with no money out of your pocket into our solar financing.
And it's beautiful for a bunch of different reasons. Think of it this way. When somebody is talking to a homeowner about their roof, you can tell right there that it's an old roof, and you can see the AC unit sometimes
Absolutely.
if it's sitting on the roof, and you know that it's old, and you have a general idea without being a rocket scientist, what that means for the homeowner. It means that they're sad about it because they turn the AC on and the house doesn't really get that cold because they have a leaky roof and an old AC unit. So, the sad face, happy face approach, it's funny and it's silly and it's simple, but simple, stupid sometimes works the best when you're talking to the people of the world who just want to be happy. They want smiley faces, not sad faces.
Absolutely.
When there's a bunch of doom and gloom out there to look at, let's think about the things that you can do to make you happy.
Exactly. And I was going behind other solar reps that gave homeowners proposals, right? And I'm like, let me just take a look at their proposal. And I'd see that the sales rep is giving the homeowner a 12 kilowatt system.
Yep.
The homeowner doesn't need a 12 kilowatt system. They need an 8, 9 kilowatt system with these different things in their house upgraded.
Yep.
And they actually get the true value of what we're doing here, right? Because we're not just trying to make money, slap glass on the roof. We're actually really trying to help homeowners out because the honest belief in that is if you're a homeowner and I solve a lot of issues for you that you couldn't solve, right? With our financing, with our solar program.
With the same dollars that they spend.
With the same dollars that they're already spending on that high electric bill, right? And now I'm saving them money and I solved all their problems. That homeowner is telling every one of their friends and family about what I just did for them.
Yep.
And
instant
the beauty
equity,
of
lowered bills.
Absolutely. And
Happy homeowner.
these leads can come in from anywhere. People have friends and family that live all across the country. That's the beauty of what we're doing here is we're a nationwide company. And I also created SVG Solar to, be different than any other solar company. I don't want to be stuck selling one product, one contract, right? I wanted to have different options. So when I was at that door, I can give the homeowner whatever options they really wanted. Whether it was a specific kind of panel, battery, inverters, whatever the case may be, even financing options. We wanted to have a variety of things that if the sales rep, if one of our sales reps goes and asks the right questions, they know exactly which company we're going to take them with, right? If they want Tesla panels, we can take them through Freedom. If they want Hano and Q cells or they want a nice 25-year warranty with tie-in, we'll take them to tie-in, right? And so that's the beauty of SVG Solar is just we're not exclusive to any installer. We onboard local installers as well as big box. And, it kind of brings us into our next segment, I think, some of our old partners.
Yeah, the old partners, the way that you grow is through trial and error no matter where you are in life. And that applies as a national company like SVG Solar, and it applies to a local roofer and everybody in between. And, and in trials in life, whatever that is with your family, your relationships, your friends, what you do to make yourself happy. And, you only live once, and that it holds so true. And, you got to partner with the people who are going to define you. That old adage, those 5 people that are in your circle, it's the same thing in business. It's the 5 or so business relationships that you focus on. Are you trying to do the roofs? Well, do you have a great roof partner? Are you the roof partner, and are you trying to partner with the solar guy? That web of business is extremely important to get right. And, that's when I walked in the door at SVG, after meeting the team, I said, okay, what's going on here is we can go so far because the mindset and the fundamentals are correct about how to influence and get into the home on a large scale. And that is amazing. To help so many people is just amazing. And I love that you were able to have that vision.
Thanks, man. Yeah, but just like you said, trial and error on some things. When we first launched this back in New Orleans, we only had tie-in. And tie-in was the majority of the South, where a lot of the roofers were. And after that conference, we had other people from other states that were reaching out and trying to get involved with our program. And so I had to find solutions, which we found Palmetto as a good solution at that time on the East Coast. And then, we obviously linked in with a company called Cirque, which, for lack of better words, it just did not work out with them, and unfortunately, like a lot of our dealers were subject to what happened with that whole situation. It happened over 8 months ago, and we just realized that they just weren't going to be a great partner for us, and it was starting to frustrate a lot of our dealers, ourselves. And so when we pulled out of that relationship, it really put some of our dealers in a bad spot because, you know, obviously they put some deals in through them. And, you know, there was just a weird time there where there was no communication between the companies just because, you know, we were in an LOI with them. They were trying to buy us out, yada, yada. Everyone knows about. But, you know, things just didn't go right. And so that left a lot of our dealers with jobs that they put in that they weren't getting paid out on. And, you know, over 8 months, these guys haven't got paid out. And people are looking at me as like the bad guy, you know, and that's fine. I have to take that rap and that role because ultimately we are the ones that guided them to that installer, right? But what they don't understand is like we're just a sales organization. That's an install side, right? SVG Solar is just sales. We don't do installs. We can't control the installs. We can't control, you know, the money, right? We just control.
And while we have our own accounting team, you know, and we have our consulting team that's there to help people, you know, get educated about how to do solar the right way with the local utility. And, you know, we have our dealer program, which allows dealers to figure out the best way to get into solar and all these different vehicles. But what we are not, as you said just now, is the engineering, the procurement, the construction, the EPC, the installer. And, you know, those operations are incredibly important to the whole solar industry. And so is what we do, to have the accounting done correctly, to make sure that a subcontractor gets paid for their roof. We wrote a check for like $55,000 to a nice company in El Paso who did an amazing roof job and a big solar job and a few other projects for that home. And they are getting their money and they're happy. And that was with Titan.
Yes. Guys, we're going to have our good dealers. We're going to have our bad dealers, right? Unfortunately, we had to vet some of these guys out the hard way, right? And so we actually paid a lot of money out of our own pocket to make sure that these dealers and roofers got paid. Huge celebration for us, just, you know, at the end of last week, CERC finally paid out a lot of our dealers that were owed. And, you know.
And then we pass it down.
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, we finally have our money.
As soon as we get it, we pass it, you know. So we don't hang on to anything. It's just the way our operations is. And what I want all of you guys to realize and understand is that SVG, our job is to get from sale to install as quickly as possible. So we work with the installers. We work with, the, you know, making sure the permits are all going through correctly, all the paperwork is signed right. But once we pass it on to the installer, it's really out of our hands. All we can do is update you. We give you guys full access to the back end CRMs.
A perfect example of that is, you know, we have some jobs here locally that I know in Mesa, Arizona, I can install with the local permitting in something like 2 to 3 weeks. And guess what? In the North Mississippi, it's going to take me 2 weeks to get a site survey to get the project started.
In some areas, it's even worse. Miami right now, Colorado, Louisiana, Cook County, and Illinois. They're just super, you know, just difficult as far as getting those permits. The AHJ's approved. So I just want you guys to all realize that, you know, we do help you guys every step of the way. We give you guys back-end access to all the CRMs with the installers, whether it's NetSuite or Freedom Forever. But you guys have to play your part and also get in and check in on those. That's why we give you access.
Well, and what you just said is so ironic, I suppose, because our dealers sometimes get accustomed to how much of the process that we take on that they just keep coming back for more because it allows them to keep doing what they do well, the roofs, the ACs, the insulation, the siding, the gutters, the general contracting practice that they have. The new home builds are super exciting. People are doing the solar loan through the new home build, permitting and attaching it to the local utility. And all those different things allow for the contractor and the organization to do the construction work that they are best suited at and that they've built the business on, while we allow for us to do our role to make that project move in an efficient fashion with the full warranties and protections of installers like Titan and Freedom.
Guys, we've had so many dealers over the last year and a half that have used our program that, you know, after a while they're like, hey, I think we can go do this on our own. And, you know, we don't hold anyone exclusive anymore. So if you guys want the option of kind of leaving the nest, if you will, and going exploring other options, we welcome that. We want you guys to be good. SVG is just, educational platform. SVG Solar is a sales organization with an educational platform tied with it.
Yep.
So we really just want you guys, and we are just a stepping stone for them to get to the next level.
Yep.
Now, a lot of dealers, right, they go out and they try to do it on their own, but what they realize is that they're burning leads because their sales reps aren't fully educated yet. Like, yes, solar's not rocket science, but if you don't answer the questions that the homeowner asks you when you're sitting right in front of them in the house, and they don't have confidence in your knowledge in the solar, right? That's going to give a homeowner cold feet. And what a lot of these dealers realized was like, hey, we just lost a lot of customers because my sales reps just aren't where they need to be yet in order to close those down on a confident level.
They're batting at a lower average than they need to stay in the league.
And then they tie us back in, right? They get like yourself, Justin, anyone on the team here, they give them the lead and then we close it for them and they're like, oh shit, you know what? Let's use SVG just a little bit longer. And like I said, just use us. You don't have to be exclusive to us. You guys can use us as long as you need to. We're not holding anyone exclusive anymore. So, if you want to use us, we're here. And we're going to show you the support. That's why we created our new dealer program of the 30, 40, 50, right? Because some dealers out there, they're just like, hey, roofers, and is what I'm talking about as far as dealers, right? These roofers, they're giving us all these leads. And they're like, hey, Jacob, run these 200 leads for me. And they're making 30%, and they have no involvement. They're just passing us the lead. And that 30% is a nice little payout.
It's definitely
then if they want to get a little bit more involved, right, they set the appointment, they get the electric bill. Now they're getting 40%. And if they want 50, then they can start sitting with us and going through the presentation. And then after 2 or 3, usually the average dealer roofer will get what's going on. And then they can kind of go out and start making that full 100%.
And the 100%, it's nice. And people get excited when they actually, it's a tangent, Farhad. I just went bow hunting and I shot my first elk. It was really exciting. I saw that, in and out of that. It's a journey. So you have to figure out how to start and how to get to your end goal. It took me 3 years for that accomplishment. And I've now been doing solar about 3 years. And when I first started, I just dipped my toe in at the local door knocking organization that, worked me and, said, go get on the doors. And I went and got on the doors and I learned solar. And I got pretty okay at it pretty quick. And that's because I was addicted. It's either you get obsessed or you're average. And average is not fun. Not fun in this world. Average means you're falling behind. And that's how it works in 2022 in America. So you either be addicted and you move forward, or you're just going to be average. And what we can do is get you and show you what really, really good looks like. And, myself, Colton, Justin, Bruce, the guys that here, Jack and John, for frick's sake, that guy, it's no average here. We're not doing average. We're players and we're making it happen. And we're just having fun. Really.
Because it all really comes down to the mindset, right, of the door-to-door guy. Now, our platform here at SVGU is to educate. But, guys, always self-educate. Learn about your own utilities. Check the news. See what's going on. Start to better yourself on the back end, because the less help you need and the more educated you are on the product that you're selling, the more deals you're going to put in and the more money you're going to make. It's just common sense. But a lot of these roofers, they just want to focus on that roofing, which is totally fine. That's why we created this new program to let the roofers be experts on the roofing. And have our team on the back end closing your solar, because we're professionals. We know exactly what to say. We know exactly how it works. We can answer all their questions. So that's what makes our program a little bit different than others. And we know there's a lot of them out there, but that's why I wanted to create SVG Solar, is to just make us different, make us an educational platform, help your sales reps close more deals, because we have real professionals that have been doing solar for years here on the other line.
And the people who are getting frustrated, they're the ones who think that this just comes so quick and easy. And they're just learning.
I can't even tell you.
Nothing comes like that in this world that's worth having. If everybody could come make this sunny solar money, they would in a heartbeat, because it's more than your desk job.
Guys, people come into this industry, get chewed up and spit out just because they think it's so easy. They're like, oh, it's just, guys, it's technical too. You have to know what's going on. The the utilities are always changing.
Yep.
Right? We're not just a local company that's here in one city, one state, like a lot of companies. We're a nationwide company. We have access to all the utilities. We know all the programs. Whenever something's changing, we bring in, drop that knowledge so you guys can learn and understand what's happening.
Or you can start out as a bullshit artist and fake your way through
Absolutely.
it. And
There's guys
people
that
do
that
it
too. Yeah.
And people
100%.
do it. And I'm not bashing those guys. They're hard working, but if you want to grow and you want to scale and you want to be a player and you want to be, receiving inbound referrals like a business is supposed to in this industry, you have to work after work. Amen.
Got to.
Yeah.
Got to.
You got to take it to the next level.
Nothing comes easy. And yes, you can make 6-figure months here in solar, 100%.
Yep.
But you have to work for it. You have to know what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you have to have the mindset to go out there, the discipline to get up every day and say, hey, I'm going to get out and knock 200 doors today.
200.
Right?
Amen.
It's not much. When you break down the numbers don't lie. And with anything sales, it's all about numbers, right? Time on doors equals more.
Yeah, and so let's talk about doors, man.
Yeah.
I come from a background in the insurance industry, sitting behind a desk cold calling. And that's what I did pretty much out of college for the first 5 years. And, it was brutal. It was tough. And I'm an outdoorsy person. I like be in the world. And going for a walk and knocking doors, it's like the most amazing thing when you make your mindset a positive.
Yeah.
If your mind is in the gutter, then that's where you're going, is in the gutter and on to the next venture that you do to support your family. But if you have a mindset where you're just blessed to be able to help people, then that's where you go exponentially. And with the world we live in, it has a vibe and a stigma around door to door, but that's because the cell phone was invented in 1990. Think about before that. What in the world happened for business to transact?
Door to door.
1800s and 1900s. And when George Washington rallied the troops, what the hell do you think happened? That's the real world. That's what we come from as human beings. And when you take a walk down the street and get some breath air, a fresh breath of air, you realize a lot more about the world if you're sitting there really thinking about it, because you do have to keep yourself focused on what you're accomplishing out there. I mean, I've sat at my desk and scrolled Instagram once or twice for a minute too long, and everybody knows you got to figure out how to be past that supercomputer targeted at your brain that we live in these days. But when you're out on the streets and you're going door to door to door, you're thinking about that person because you have no choice. I mean, what are you going to do? Sit on the curb and play with your phone?
Absolutely.
Screw that. You're going to go feed your family.
The hardest thing with door to door, guys, is getting out of your car. Once you're out of your car, it's game on.
Nice.
But people have that mental, kind of block when they're there. There's they pull up to their neighborhood and they're actually I got to go to the restroom real quick, and then they end up going to QT, right, or going to something to eat, and then their girlfriend calls them, and then next thing you know, they pissed an hour away off on that door time. So I mean, guys, the door to door is really for a special breed of people. You have to be committed, right? You have to have the discipline. And if you don't, you're not going to make it in the door to door. That's why a lot of guys, excuse my language, are fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are like, I just want leads.
Yeah.
What you guys realize is homeowners are shopping right now, right?
Yep.
If they're looking to sign up for a $52,000 loan, they're going to check some options out. So if they're looking online on Facebook, Instagram, we have leads and we do leads. But what you have to realize is that homeowner is also looking at 4 other companies.
Yep.
And you could be a guy that knocks on that homeowner's door, right? And he's been getting virtual calls. And that door-to-door guy that's there, that's knowledgeable, that's professional, disciplined out there, helping the neighborhood, that guy might get that deal,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's going to get that deal.
And he's going to make more commission because it's a self-generated deal.
Amen to that. And it's really just like, do you want to do this or not? Because there aren't that many leads that you can do it all day.
Yeah.
I don't care what organization you're a part of. You have to go make something happen in the world, and that's what sales is all about. We're a sales organization. We know it firsthand. I've had weeks that I made $0 and I worked 60-hour weeks. And let me tell you, you go home and you go kiss your girlfriend, kiss your wife, hug your kids, and you might put the smile on, but you feel that.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're not living. You're going the wrong direction quick.
Yeah, solar has been my lifeline for the last 10 plus years.
Amen, man.
There was a point in time where I left Solar City because they shut down their sales organization, and I started up a little venture in the car business and ended up losing, over $280,000. Okay, so I was a young guy in my early 20s. That's a hard hit.
Yep.
But when I jumped right back into solar, within 8 months, I was back in the green, completely debt free.
Yep.
But that took a lot of discipline. Like I was waking up every day like clockwork, 5, 6 a.m., going to the gym, getting my mindset right for the day, carving out which area I'm going to knock. And I was out all day. And I'm telling you, 6-figure months was the easiest thing that I did. And guys, there's people that get in that much debt and can never get out of it. I was out of that within 8 months. I was completely debt free, got myself a new car, and really started expanding more because I was realizing that, look, I'm helping more homeowners out. And when you have that mindset of going out, I'm knocking 200 doors today, and I'm helping out at least 5 homeowners. I'm going to help them upgrade something in their house that they actually need. It's a beautiful thing, you know?
And then it just compounds on itself. It's exponential. When you talk to 200 homeowners, 5 to 10 of them are going to have a relationship with you if you do it the right way. And, if you're really good at your skill and you practice and hone your craft and you know what you have to say, then guess what? Next thing you're at 10 and 20. And then next thing you know, you have these guys who are closing 10, 15, 20 deals out there. And it's just like anything in life. The top 5 and top 10%, they're going to do 90% of the business. 80-20 rule, if you will. And you got to figure out how to get from zero and from starting and from wherever you're at in your business with your roof is that you got to get to the next level. And it's 100% there. And everybody's been through that grind, but the world changes so quickly.
And you have to learn to adapt, especially in this industry. You got to adapt. There's panels that are going out. There's financing options that are going out. There's all these different things. And that's what we want to do here for you guys is help you guys succeed in the solar industry. And like I said, guys, use this as a stepping stone to get yourself and your company to that next level. You have to crawl before you can walk. Let us help you. If you guys want the help, need people, helping your sales reps close more deals, call us 234-57 Solar. But what's really cool is tomorrow we got Solar Bootcamp for door-to-door guys. This is our very first door-to-door bootcamp for just the sales reps. Here at SVG Solar, we've been doing boot camps for the last 2 years, but that's mainly geared towards the business owner, teaching them how to incorporate solar into their businesses. And a lot of the feedback we got is like, that's a lot of great information, but how do we close more deals, right? And it's like, well, the way we close more deals is getting your sales reps in our boot camp and have just a specific boot camp that's 2 days. It's the Friday and Saturday this month, the 16th and the 17th. We're going to take guys out on the doors. We're going to knock with them. We're going to set appointments. We're going to take them through the whole process. We're going to teach them how to do virtual, right? We're going to teach them how to go door knocking. Anything in the sales aspect, whether it's for roofing or solar, we're going to be out pounding the pavement. We have special guests that have come in, $1 million producers in the solar industry and in the roofing industry that are just going to help motivate the sales reps to be mentally prepared for being that self-employed 1099 sales rep. You're your own boss, right? You carve your own adventure. And if you have the mental fortitude to, create a schedule, to be disciplined, to get out and have your non-negotiable times, you will be the best self-employed guy that you can be. And you can make money that you would never even expect.
It's a self-motivation is really the biggest factor. It's like, do you want to go, do the 9 to 5 or whatever that looks like for you, or do you want to carve your own path? I look at my bank account and I can say I have, this much freedom right now, and I can go do the things I want to do, and that's just a blessing.
Guys, there's people out there that work 40 hours a week that make $20, $30 an hour. What people don't realize is you can go out and knock a door. You give yourself 2 hours a day just to start. You go out for 2 hours a day and you get, let's say, 2 electric bills. Let's say one of those electric bills sits down, or 2 of them sit down with you, you go through the appointment, only one of them closes, right? Which 2 hours knocking doors, you got half an hour building the proposal, and you're spending about an hour or so in the house, hour and a half. So you're talking about a total of about 4 or 5 hours in 1 week. If you close one deal, you're making more than that 9 to 5 guy in a whole 2 weeks.
And if you learn how to ask for referrals the right way, you just doubled the income 100%. On that 4 hours.
But you can't be lazy, right? You have to go out and you got to work. You got to work. With
Yep.
anything you do, commit yourself to it.
Yep.
Dedicate yourself to your craft, master it, get out there and put the work in.
Yep.
People that put the work in get paid.
Yep.
You know, and the ones that don't, obviously they stay stagnant.
Yep.
Right? And then the complainers.
Yep.
And that's the thing. So guys, make sure if you have an RSVP to this boot camp, RSVP to the next one. It's probably going to be towards the end of October, maybe early November. Or we might not, who knows, we might do it in the beginning of the year. But make sure you guys come, educate yourselves on multiple platforms, right? We're just one of the platforms out there that's an educational platform.
Yep.
There's so many other ones, but educate yourselves more, do more research, right? And, you know, obviously master your craft. And, you know, anyone that gets into this industry of door to door, guys, you're going to be successful if you apply yourself.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's that simple. If you break the comfort zone, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't need to reiterate that, man. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
But guys, we appreciate everyone looking, and we'll see you on the next episode with Jacob and one of our top sales reps.
Till next time, gentlemen. Take care.